Hello, happy Thursday. Is anybody around? I was going to do this training on Friday, but something has come up and I cannot do it, so I am doing it today. So I am terrible about announcing my Facebook Lives. I really am. I must get better about doing this. But if you are live with me, say hello. If you are catching the replay, just hashtag replay so I know that you guys are watching these videos, because if you're not watching these videos, there's really no point in me making them, and I want to make sure I'm delivering things that will help you guys out. So today, this is not exactly brand and website makeover related, but I get asked all the time, about all the tools I use. So a lot of times when I'm working with clients who are just starting out, or people who have been working in an online capacity, and they just ask me all the time, like, what do you use for your scheduler? What do you use for this? What do you use for that? And so rather than just answering random questions, I thought I'd just pull it all into one training. And then I've also made a checklist for you too that you can download. So if you go to the post, there's a link, you can download it and print it off. And then you have a little bit of a checklist as to what I use. But before I get started, if you are new to the group or you don't know who I am, my name is Kate and my business is called studioktr, and I work with therapists, coaches, healers, the world round for my home here in the UK, helping them to elevate their businesses through brand and website makeovers so they can take bigger opportunities, come out from hiding, banish the feelings of having an amateur business. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into some of the tools that I use in my business and download the checklist so you can follow along, or you at least have something to kind of reference when you're going through what tools you use in your business. Now, keep in mind that some of these tools might not be applicable to you because obviously I'm a designer, so they might be more conducive to me, but I've tried to pick out the ones that I think would be beneficial for everybody running an online business. Now, this list is not by all means complete. Like, if there are things that you can think of, put them in the post below that I may not have mentioned. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything. If I am, I'll put it in the post too. Okay, so without further ado, get your checklist. It's on the link in the post, so get it, print it, look at it, and yeah, there's a place for you to put notes on there too. So I'm just gonna reference this as we go along, and then if there's something that I forget, just add it on the bottom. Okay, so obviously you're gonna need an email. I'm gonna start with that. So whether you're using email through your hosting company so that you have your branded URL as part of your email address, or if you're just using Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo or whatever it is, you have to set yourself up with a business email, okay? Next is having a business calendar. Now, there are like loads of calendars out there. And by the way, for each one of these tools, there's like multiple versions of like so many things I can't even mention, things that I've never even heard of, program softwares out there. There's multiple things for each thing I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to tell you what I'm using, okay? And then what I have found good for my business. And then if there's something else, feel free to share it. Okay, so you need a calendar. I personally use Google Calendars, and that's only because I have a Mac, which I do all of my work stuff on, but I have an Android phone, which I've just switched to. I used to have an iPhone, now I have an Android phone. And so for me, the best way to get everything to work together is if I just use Google Calendars, because it talks to all devices. So that's what I use. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's pretty good, I like it, but you know, to each their own. I use Google Calendars. Then you're gonna need an online scheduler. So if you are a therapist or a healer or a coach and you want to conduct your meetings with anybody in the world, or if you have discovery calls that you want to get just people on the phone but be able to see each other face to face, use your online scheduler, okay? So I use 10 to 8. I can put the link in here if you guys need it. There's so many free online schedulers, okay? But I use 10 to 8 because I find it really useful. There's a lot of functions in there where it will automatically remind people of your appointments. And it lets me set up different appointments for different reasons. So I've got like a discovery call that I do with people, but I also do brand reviews and I do some consulting. So I have different links and it lets me set them up as different like services, which I find is a really cool feature. I just find it really easy to use too. And then it lets you save anything that you want to in your Google Calendar or iCalendar or whatever. So I really, really like 10 to 8. But there are like a billion schedulers out there. So see which one works for you. 10 to 8 does have a free version. That's what I'm on and that's what I use. I think it's up to like free up to like 100 appointments a month or something like that. So that works for me. So it probably work for you too. Okay, so after the scheduler, you need to have some platform you can use to conduct your online meetings, okay? So whether you're doing it over the webcam or you're just doing it over the phone, whatever, but I use Zoom, and I know there's other platforms to host your online meetings, but I like Zoom because you have the ability to get multiple people on there and record your sessions. And I really like the way that you can schedule your appointments and how it makes it really, really easy for people to dial in on a phone or hop in through a link. So I just find Zoom to be the best platform for that. And again, I use that, the free version. I don't pay for anything on that. I just use Zoom. Okay, video recording. Okay, so a lot of times, you might have just on your computer, like if you have a Mac, you'll have QuickTime or something like that. So you might want to just record like that. But I like using the online platform because it compresses the files and it doesn't mean that it's sitting on your PC or laptop or whatever it is that you're using. So I use Loom, Loom, Loom. And what's really cool about that software, and this is separate from like doing Facebook Lives and stuff like that. If I'm recording, pre-recording something, I go to Loom, and it's really, really easy to use. You can organize all your videos in different ways. You can share your videos from Loom directly if you want to. You can download them if you want to. I like it because I've made a couple courses, or I'm in the process of working on some courses, so I can pre-record some videos that I'm going to put in my courses, but I can make it like hidden for only the people that want to see it with those links. What else is good about Loom? I'm on the free version for that, so I don't pay anything for that at all. And I think there's one more thing I wanted to say about Loom. Oh yeah, you can do screen sharing, all that good stuff too, and I just find that's a really good platform to use for pre-recording videos. So that's Loom, and again, that's free. Then for email marketing, okay, so, oh my gosh, let me count the ways. There are a billion email marketing platforms out there, so many. Most people tend to start with MailChimp, and I started with that, and then I went off to ActiveCampaign, and then I tried something else, and I've tried lots of things. But when the GDPR kicked into place, I kind of, total transparency, I totally cleaned out my entire email list because it didn't feel aligned anyways with me, and I wanted to build a list that felt really authentic, and I felt like I had used old marketing techniques with people that I just didn't feel aligned with. So I completely, with the GDPR, it gave me the excuse to just wipe clean my email marketing list, which I did. So I've started back on with MailChimp, and that is why I'm with MailChimp, because I really like the way that you can put in your sign-up forms the GDPR consent. And for me, that's a really big deal to make sure I'm doing it the right way. And I find that to be the easiest platform to do it. Again, I'm on the free version of MailChimp because I'm rebuilding my list at the moment. I can't say if I'm going to stay there for forever, but right now I really like it. And because I'm restarting my email list again, it works fine for me on the free platform. So MailChimp is what I use for my email marketing platform. Okay, the next one is a social media scheduler. So there's Hootsuite, there's like a bunch of other ones out there. I'm using a new one that I just found, which is called Later. And what I like about this one is it's really, really easy to use. You can hook up your, I think, 3 accounts on the free version. So I have hooked up my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and my Instagram. I haven't used my Instagram and my LinkedIn yet, but I have set it up for my business page for Facebook, and which is really, really cool. You can upload all these photos, you can schedule out your stuff. It's really easy to do. You can replicate old posts. So I have it set up right now where it is posting to my Facebook business page 3 times a week for me. On one of the days, it's posting for people to join my Facebook group. On one day, it's posting for people to schedule a discovery call with me, and then the last one is for people to sign up for my my opt-in, my email marketing list. Okay, so I have that just chugging away in the background. It's doing it 3 times a week for me out my business page. I don't have to sit and think about it. It's wonderful. It's really easy to use. That's called Later. Again, I'm on the free version because I'm just testing it out, but so far so good. Okay, of course you're going to want your social media accounts, so make sure that you've got, your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Pinterest, all of those, your Instagram, all of those social media platforms that you might be using. Make sure that you go to them and get your name and register your name so that you have them. Even if you're not necessarily going to be using them straight away, make sure for your online business that you have them, okay? Next is business organization and content planning. So I use a program to organize all my stuff, and that's called Trello. Now, I don't know if you've used it before or not, but if you are a list maker like I am, you will love Trello. Okay, again, I'm on the free version of Trello. I think if you want to add a team, I think is when you start to pay, but I'm just a one-woman show, so I don't need to have a team, and so I'm still in the free version. It is the most amazing software, and I will do a training on it in the group, but you can make checklists. I use it for, oh my gosh, not just my business stuff, but I use it for like when I'm planning a trip. So when we just went to Cyprus, and I had all the stuff in there, like all the stuff for the dog kennel and the packing lists in there, and all the insurances we bought in the airport parking and all that stuff I organized in Trello. So it is like a life organizer. It's the most amazing platform. I highly, highly suggest you use it. In my business, I use it for storing my market research information. I use it for my marketing strategies. I use it for all my content planning and sharing. Oh my gosh, I use it for so many things. So if you're a list maker and you like to be organized, Trello is the place to do it. And they have an app as well. So if I need to ever access anything, I can access it through my phone, which is super amazing. Okay, so Trello is that. I love, love, love Trello. Okay, then I have a program called DougsATO, which is a client management system, or a client CRM. So it's client relationship management, I think is what CRM stands for. So this is the platform that I use. Now this is paid, this is not free. I can't remember what I pay for it for a year. I think it's like $250 or something like that. Okay, so I use a program called DougsATO. And what it does is it's a software that I go into, and it's where I keep all my contracts. It's where I have client portals. So I have my client information in there, client notes to the client. I have all my sign-off stuff. So this may or may not apply to you, depending on if you're a coach, therapist, healer, you know, whatever. But if you're having contracts in your business, which I am, then I use this software to get signatures on the contracts, approve my design work. It's a really good system for creatives. Have a look at it if you think it might be, you might use some of these functions. I use it for onboarding new clients. You can use questionnaires in there. So many good things. So if you need a place to organize all the stuff that you might do with clients, then this is the place. DougsATO is amazing. So I highly recommend that. Again, that's paid. What did I say? Like $250, something like that per year. Okay. The next thing on my list is Canva. Oops, I just thought of something new. Let me write it down on my list. Okay. So the next thing is Canva. So I've just done a training last week on Canva. If you are new to Canva or you don't know what Canva is, I personally use like Illustrator and Photoshop because I'm a designer. However, I use Canva an awful lot because it's really, really fast. So go to canva.com. It's a place where you can create all your brand things for your brand. So your printables, posters, flyers, social media posts, menus, things like that. Anything you want to design for your business, do it on Canva. I still use the free version myself. But you could use a paid version. But for my needs, I can pretty much do everything I need to do on the free version. So have a look at it. But it is one of the best online platforms for getting anything created for your business. Any touch point you want to create for your business and put on social media or anywhere you can create on Canva. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're not using it, use it. And also hop into the group video section where you can find my like kind of introduction to it. I did a little video training on it last week. So if you want to know about that, go there. Okay, that's Canva. What's next? Oh yeah, so just getting into like some of my website stuff. I'm not going to go into this too much. It depends on if you're using a website builder like Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or one of those kind of platforms. This probably doesn't relate to you. But if you have a WordPress site, obviously I have a hosting company. So if you have a WordPress site, you'll have a hosting company. I use SiteGround. So far, so good. They've been the best. I've just migrated my site from Reg123 to SiteGround, and SiteGround so far has been amazing. I have much, much faster load times on my pages. Their customer service is amazing. Their prices are really good. They include an SSL certificate on your site as standard, which my old platform was trying to like charge me 40 pounds a year for that. No, this is part of the whole package. Yeah, it was a big deal to move my site. It was a lot of work to move my site. I have quite a big site. So yeah, don't think that you're just going to go up and switch hosting companies because it is a lot of work to do it. But if you find that yours is really horrible, which mine was, it wasn't giving me what I needed and my load times were really slow and it was just ancient. So for me, moving to SiteGround was one of the best things that I've done. So I use SiteGround for hosting. Okay, and then what else? Oh, WordPress theme. So a lot of times people want to change themes when they want to redesign their site. They may keep a WordPress site. This is obviously only applicable to people who have WordPress sites. But if you have a WordPress site and you want to change your theme or change your design, Divi is the way to go. Okay, I've worked with lots of different WordPress themes before, and I can go in and I can do it and it's fine, but I've never experienced anything like Divi. It's the hottest theme out there. It's so popular that they're always making updates. They're always maintaining it. Whereas if you buy a theme, you might buy an old theme that nobody uses, and so they might not do updates, and it just go with what's popular as far as themes go and what works, and Divi is the theme to do. So if you are thinking about redoing your website and you want to change your theme, go with Divi. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Okay, that's that. Okay, and then accounting. Obviously, when you've got your business, you may have an accountant. I have 2 accountants, one in the US and one in the UK. Hopefully you don't have to do that as well, but I do. But for bookkeeping, I use QuickBooks. You could use anything like an Excel spreadsheet, you know, whatever works for you. But I find that QuickBooks is really, really good, and it generates reports for both my accountants, and it's so worth the money that I pay for it. I think that, I don't know what it is in the US. I think I pay about £9 a month for it here in the UK. So get yourself some kind of bookkeeping software. I do mine online through QuickBooks. Okay, and what else? Oh, a cloud platform. So a lot of times you're going to want to share documents or get people to sign things, or you know, whatever you need to do to share in an online capacity. So you're going to need that cloud space to do that. So you could do everything from like Google Docs to Dropbox to, you know, whatever. I happen to use pCloud, which I have found has been really, really, really good. And I love the way that pCloud allows me to, it's encrypted from the source, which means that I have a little app on my desktop. And what I could do is I could just drag files to it. It syncs it from my computer straight to my cloud, but it's encrypted, which means it gets encrypted here first before it goes off. So when the GDPR came into play, it was really important for me to host all of my client files and information in a safe, secure location. So I know that anything that I save gets encrypted at my source, at my computer, before it even gets sent off to the cloud. So for me, that's a way of securing my client files and contracts and all that good stuff too. So I use pCloud, but it's also great as a place to share files. You're going to need some kind of cloud server to do that. Otherwise, you're always going to be emailing things. And a lot of times for me, I have really big files. It may not be the case for you, but I do because I'm designing stuff. So I need to be able to give people a link rather than trying to send stuff over email. Okay, and the last thing that I just thought about, which I did not put on the list, so you might want to add it to the bottom, is SurveyMonkey. I use SurveyMonkey when I am doing, oh, that's my dog, by the way. I use SurveyMonkey when I am doing market research. So I will also use my DougsATO program that I mentioned earlier. But if I just want to do random research and I don't want to keep people's names and stuff, which I would have to do with my DougsATO. If it's just, I just want random people to answer and be anonymous, then I will do SurveyMonkey. And I use SurveyMonkey for a lot of different things, but they have really easy ways to set up surveys. I, again, use the free version because I don't use it all the time, but I think the branding is not super great. Like, you can't make it look exactly like your business, but it's good enough, and it's just a survey, so I don't think that that's really a problem. So I use SurveyMonkey for that. And I think that is it, my friends. So if you can think of something that I haven't, please put it in the post. This is a little bit longer than I normally like to go. I'm nearly hitting 20 minutes here. I usually try to keep it under 10, but this is a big thing. And I know a lot of people ask me what I use in my business. So if you think of something that I haven't, please put it in the post. If you have any questions, please ask me. Don't forget to download the PDF. You can make notes at the bottom and at least kind of see generally what I use for my business. And I hope that this has helped you guys. And yes, I will be back tomorrow. And I think that's it. So yep, do hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.